What do you wish your foster parents would have done differently?
Well, with my cousin, I just wish that, I just feel like I wish that she wasn't having us showering in a moldy shower. When it comes to this, my other foster parent, Miss Tamara, I felt like she was just very petty. She would just treat you like a type of way, and I just did not like that. I didn't like her energy, and it was just so annoying. Like I couldn't go anywhere, but then she would just tell me, like, she asked me why you're not going anywhere. But when I asked to go somewhere, you won't let me go nowhere. So it was just like that. She was just very toxic, and if you really wanted a kid, just, I don't know, like when I came there, I had to do all the chores and everything. So it just felt like I was being a maid. So that's how it was.
How was that different than being in another foster home and having to do chores? Like, what were the differences there?
I feel like it just feels like I just had to do like a lot of more work than pleasure, and it just felt like, because like my foster parent wasn't really doing nothing, just sitting in the house. So I was like, you can't do nothing either. So I just felt like it was just very unfair, and I feel like or like if you go to work 24/7, like I don't mind, but I'm just saying, like if you're just sitting on your butt, then you're just lazy. So like when it comes to my recent foster parents, I feel like they work all the time and they have like a lot of stuff on their plate. So I'm like, okay, then I'm fine with doing the dishes, or I'm fine with doing all this.
Sure.
Or if I want to make some cash to go somewhere, then I would do something. So yeah, that's why.
Yeah. I want to talk about, if you're comfortable with it, I want to talk about the racial component of living in a white home, being in New Lenox, the schools, your experience, that sort of thing. What was it like to live in a home with parents of a different race?
It was kind of weird because I never experienced it before. So it was just hard. So I just went up basically off of stereotypes that, you know, based off of other people in movies. So it was just kind of weird to get used to.
Yeah. What were some of the things that were like difficult or weird or hard?
I feel like that my other foster brothers, they did like more type of bad stuff back when they were younger, and they don't understand, like it's kind of hard like to make them like quit as soon as they get to the house. Like it's not hard. Like you basically just been doing this for like 12 years, and then when you come to this house, you're like, oh yeah, you can't do this. And like it gets to you because you're not gonna tell me what to do. Like you just, like when you're in foster care, you feel like you're grown. Like you're grown, but you're still a child. So you just feel a little bit defiant.
What were some of the things that you felt like your foster parents did well as it related to supporting you, knowing that they're not black, they didn't understand your experience in life, and in the city that you were living in, the school you were going to? How did they show their love and support for you in that regard?
Just like, I don't know, just act like we're a family, take pictures, and just like, it just didn't feel like we're like discriminated, like, or anything.
How did they stand up for you? I guess that maybe might be a better way to.
How they stand up? So I have a story. So my recent foster parents, so basically, I wasn't there, but my brothers were, and it was this guy who was making racist comments in the store, and my mom and my dad did not like that at all, and they were like, and they got furious about that. So I think my mother called the police, and my dad put it all on Facebook, and that's like, and I was like, that's pretty nice that they were stand up for us, even though, because, you know, we don't, like, sometimes kids don't have a voice or anything.
Yeah, so. Absolutely, that's huge. So them calling the police and taking a stand and doing something on Facebook made you feel like, hey, they really care about us and our feelings. What were some things that maybe you experienced in terms of maybe even like, you know, racist remarks, situations, or even like what people would term as microaggressions, things that like stung or felt a little racist that other white people like didn't even bat an eye at, you know, seemed normal?
When it comes to saying the N-word, sometimes it's like, I know it, and they mean it as a joke and everything, but it's kind of annoying when like a white kid asks you, can I have the pass? And it's just like, why would you ask me for that? Like, it's just annoying because it gets repetitive, because most people, like most kids do ask for it, and I'm like, get out of my face. Like, it's
So let me stop you there, because I know what you're saying, and I'm not sure the audience watching will necessarily understand what you're saying, but you're saying kids will come to you and ask you for an N-word pass so that they have your permission to say that word.
Yeah.
And were these friends, or
They
would
were
you
like
say
friends. It's like
acquaintances, people that knew you at school? Like, how did you respond to that?
I just told him, just like, no, like, I just like, dude, just don't, like, I just look at you funny, like, just don't ask me that again.
Yeah.
So it's just, that's just how it was. But like, I understand like how it is. I know they mean it as a joke, and like, this is just a joke, or like, they just joking around and stuff, but they just don't.
It wasn't cool.
It's not. It's just annoying.
Yeah.
To ask for it. It's just like, why you really asking for it?
What and the school you went to was pretty white then, I'm guessing? Pretty white school?
Yeah, it was white, and I feel like I saw a lot of like white kids just trying to be like wannabe gangsters and thugs, and I'm looking at them like, you look stupid, like you just look dumb. Like what hard, like you didn't have to go through nothing. Like you singing all these songs, like you've been through it and everything, and you haven't, and it's just like you look stupid to me.
What would you coach a foster parent on, or feel like they need to learn or be taught in that regard?
I feel like they just need to taught like the basic things when it comes to like hair and stuff, like just hygiene and everything, because like hair, like their hair is different and everything, and just like, I don't know, just know the basics of like your culture and everything.
Yeah. So when you say hair, give me a couple tips, pointers on hair care.
I feel like like when it comes, it's like girls and boys, like they like you wash your hair every day. You're not supposed to. Like, I know a kid, he's adopted, and he's been in like an all-white school in that area for so long, since he was like a little kid. So he doesn't know, like his hair is like all dried out and everything, and it just looks terrible sometimes. I'm like, I can't save him, because I tell him, but like it's not looking good, and he just doesn't know, and
needs to not wash his hair but once a week, maybe moisturize it.
Yeah, put some oil in it.
Yep.
And like,
how often you go to the barber?
Yeah, how often you go to the barber? Girls need to get their hair done. Yeah, they not like how like makeup and stuff, and because you don't know, like different girls, girls don't flat out on your hair every day. That's not good for your hair. Mm-hmm. And yeah, that's just how it is, and that's just, people just need to learn that. They need to learn like some of their culture first, so they won't be looking silly.
So I'm going to ask you kind of a weird and funny question, because I heard this once somewhere. You shower, you use a washcloth?
Yes, I do. I don't get that. I know a couple friends that uses just straight up hands, and I'm like, how do you do that? Just like, I was not raised like that. You have to use
a washcloth.
Use a washcloth, and it gets the dirt off, and you use your hand. You just like, it doesn't get nothing off. You're not scrubbing nothing off. I still feel dirty after that, but
yeah.
I don't know.
Any other like hygiene things that you noticed were different?
Yeah, I did. I feel like most, in my school, most kids didn't wash their hands after using the bathroom. I was like, that's kind of weird. I was like, is this like, like when I first got there, I was like, is this like a race thing? Because I don't know. I was like, because I come from all black, that we all wash our hands after peeing, and I go to like Lincoln Central, and I'm in like in a movie theater and stuff, and I'm just looking at people like, you're not gonna wash your hands? Like, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
So
some differences, right? Some differences.
Yeah, some differences.
You talk about your white foster parents and needing to teach them some cultural things, some differences in culture. What are some of those cultural things outside of the hygiene stuff that you would say they need to learn or understand or know?
Yeah, when it comes to clothes and everything, like, man, we love our clothes. Like, we want to look good all the time, and like, I don't know how people just walk outside with just flip-flops and stuff on. I don't get that. Like, we just love to just look good and show off and everything, and I feel like that's part of the culture when it comes to that.
Yeah. And
it comes to just music-wise and everything. My other foster parents are more strict than how my last ones were. And it's just like, you just see the difference, and I'm like, wow, that's crazy. Because I will never, like you were like, I would never like talk back to my parents or talk back to like someone like that, because that scares me. Like, I'm not gonna say nothing.
Yeah.
So like, I feel like when it comes to my recent parents, they let me talk and they listen. Most just don't really listen, and that's really triggers people.